Okay, let's take a look at how the global handover panned out over the last 24 hours. The US markets really under pressure. The Nasdaq slid over 4%. FAANG stocks, chip stocks both lost yesterday. The Nasdaq has now fallen more than 10% in the past 3 trading sessions. Now, the sell-off was not limited only to the Nasdaq. The Dow fell 632 points. So that's also a very large fall. The S&P dipped 2.7%. Again, third straight negative day for the S&P 500 as well. Now, if you want to look at futures, futures are also not looking too positive. Dow futures are down around 50 points. S&P and Nasdaq are barely positive. Nasdaq is now around 0.5% positive, but S&P is barely positive. So US markets definitely under some pressure. Tesla fell 21% yesterday. It's now fallen 35% in 2 or 3 trading sessions. So that's been a key laggard, which is also driving that impact, that market lower. Now we have Asia, which is weak on the back of a weak handover. So Nikkei in Japan, 1.3% down. Topix, 1.2% down. Kospi, 1% down. Australian ASX 200, 2% down. SoftBank Group in Asia, the biggest loser today, down 5%. And it's now down more than 10% since its Friday close. So Asia really clearly feeling the pain as well. Now, if you want to look at Europe yesterday, they weren't spared either. The Pan-Euro Stock 600 also closed down 1%. The Eurozone Q2 GDP has contracted 14.7% YOY and 11% Q on Q. So the tech sector over here yesterday also fell another 2%, so mirroring what we saw in America. And but however, it's not just the tech sector. All your sectors in Europe yesterday were pretty much in the red. Now, 2 commodities, and this morning we're going to spend a little more time talking about oil because there's been a massive erosion there. Now, we all know that there's an issue going on in Saudi right now with the oil. There's also big issues with demand concerns. Yesterday, the AstraZeneca vaccine hit a bit of a foothold, if you want to call it that. So it seems that the oil outlook demand may have worsened drastically just in the last, let's say, week or so, and that's reflecting in the prices. You see Brent crude coming below $40 is something we don't see too often. That happened yesterday. It actually fell 5.3% to $39.78. Then you want to look at WTI, they slipped 7.6% or $3 to $36.76 per barrel. So both crude and WTI, the major oil benchmarks, really got a hit yesterday. And that's going to keep the oil marketing companies in focus, obviously, but it's also going to keep the rest of the market in focus because the last time there was a big fall in oil, we saw what happened to the markets in March and April. Now, coming to gold, finally gold showing a mild uptick because it's supposed to behave as a hedge to equity. So when equity really underperforms, gold is supposed to shine. Yesterday we saw, the big sell-off actually caused panic for some investors, and spot gold was up nearly 0.5% to 1936 per ounce. And then your futures were up again 0.5% to $1943 per ounce. So that's the global wrap for you for the last 24 hours.